right, and welcome back to another episode of Subscribe Reviews of WandaVision, Episode 7. And I am Dragolf. I'm here joined today by Murdoch.
What's up?
Leeroy Green is back here.
Glad to be back. What's up?
And you've been watching us for a while, way back when we were reviewing The Boys. Jay Holland is here.
Season 1.
OG.
So this week in WandaVision, it was like the sitcom influences were very loose. The Office and The Modern Family. And I was waiting for the Office one, but it was just barely the theme. But
they got to the current time of TV shows, the current format.
Yeah. Documentary style / looking at the camera.
The interview stuff going on was really like the theme song was definitely like Office influence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the interviews were really like kind of the only thing. The camera work too kind of had the handy cam thing going on. Which is kind of cool. And I've been consistently impressed with like how the actual like cinematography of every episode changes with the seasons. Like the cinematographers are definitely doing their homework with how everything is shot.
Yeah, even little subtle things like if you listen to the music playing like during like some of the parts, like those heavy drums, like that's the theme from Modern Family. So even little cute little nods like that.
Yeah, that must be fun for the actors because they don't have to concentrate on one like style of their character. They could do different characters from different sitcom eras. But
yeah, it's like it shows like this type of show would probably work in any era on any type of like format really.
Yeah. The actors probably having a ball, like you said, Mike. They get to change up their entire acting style week to week.
We see Wanda, self-quarantine as she said she's gonna, but she's punishing herself for after the last episode when she expanded the hex. But she
you guys notice like all the hex patterns on the blankets and stuff like that?
Yeah.
On Vision's side only.
Yeah.
And her pillows are different. I was like, oh, subtle. We're subtle.
Little subtle teams like that.
Break down and feel like the consequences of like her actions and start to question them a little bit more, which is, I mean, we got 2 more episodes left. So, we had to get there eventually.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the kids were asking where he is, and they were asking about their controllers, and it was going back in time.
Yeah, a lot of their furniture kept like changing up. Like the 1 minute they had like GameCube controllers, and it's like the Atari, joysticks. Like so.
Yeah.
For a split second, we saw like the house itself looked like abandoned, and so just kind of I'm thinking that like they just literally moved into like an abandoned house in the neighborhood, and she's using her magic to just like put it together because you saw like holes in the walls and stuff like that.
Yeah, more than likely because it's like what they established like a few episodes ago, like when Monica was talking about her outfit, like she went in with like the Kevlar bulletproof thing, and like the structure of it didn't change, just the look of it did, like to fit whatever was going on. So that definitely holds up to that theory. Like probably did find like the house. It seems like her powers work, whereas like the things have to already be there in place. Like she can't actually create something, like something it already has to exist, and then she could kind of just shape it in the way that she wants it to.
She did create the kids, so that's a whole other question.
Did she?
That's true.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm not 100% sure she created the kids, although because we know like even with their history from the comics going out there, they're tied to Mephisto. They their soul was attached to him, so it's like. But it seems like she just wanted them to be there, and then they were there. Or it could be the fact that these are 2 kids who actually exist, and she kind of just made them her own. Because again, we see that there's stuff has to actually be present within the hex for her to make it her own or the way she wants it to be. So,
one thing I like about the kids also is like they ask the questions that we, the audience, have. Like they'll ask. And that's how we get most of our answers through them kids.
Yeah, because it used to be the people in S.W.O.R.D doing that. Like, Darcy, like in Ancient Wu, like they were the ones asking all the questions that the audience were asking, But now that we've seen Darcy is now inside of the hex, and even she was like in character, when they were at the little carnival.
Yeah. Yeah, the show's been doing a good job throwing us off. Like, there's so many crazy theories going around, and just ends up being wrong. We're all wrong. The beehive thing, even the person that Monica we were supposed to meet up with. We don't. It's just a random team of people.
That was so disappointing for me.
Yeah.
And like just I don't know if because I went kind of through like a rabbit hole on YouTube when I'm like just watching different videos, different predictions, and it's like just some random person. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey.
Yeah, I feel like some of the fan theories have been kind of spoiling the show a little bit for me because it's something that I'm not thinking of, and then everyone's just like, "Oh no, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be this," and I'm just like, "Oh snap, I didn't even think about that," and then I get mad excited, and then it's like not, and it's like, "Yo, y'all gotta chill." Everything is
like
something.
The beekeeper suit, like that was made to be like, oh, it's like this guy from Fisto or like somebody from SCU, and it was just some random guy.
Saying, like, there was speculations he was a agent of
Hydra.
AIM.
The way this it was like, nah, he was just a S.W.O.R.D member. His outfit just changed to the aesthetic of the time period that they're in. That would make sense.
There's a little too many red herrings going on.
Which I don't mind.
I guess it's the audience who's taking it and running with it. And then that's like leaving me disappointed. But like it's not the show's fault.
But they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because they mentioned it 3 times in 3 different episodes. So I'm like, all right, we're building up to this. So
like I still think the biggest clues are given off commercials.
Yes.
And even so, like with the last episode with the Yo Magic thing, when the shark is saying stuff like, "Yo, I'm snacking on Yo Magic," like it's not like literally saying like I'm feeding off your magic, and it's we kind of see that sort of confirmed at the end of this episode. You know, with the reveal of with Agatha, which I'm sure we'll get into later on when that comes up. But it seems like the most of like the biggest clues really do come from those commercials when you really
this one's the Nexus, right? Where when there's a Nexus person, they stay the same in any multiverse or and Scarlet Witch is definitely one of those people. So
we know this is leading into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, so it's like kind of an obvious like, all right, like we're getting closer to the multiverse. And then I mean we still got questions about where she dug up that version of Quicksilver from. The multiverse. So
we go out of the hex where we see before we get I think before that the disappointing reveal of just random people is Jimmy was talking about the project to bring the Vision back, but it could also he's trying to bring maybe Ultron back. The Cataract project is in the comic book, and that's what brought Ultron back, kind of.
I think that's probably the file that Darcy had found that she couldn't get into.
The firewall one,
which makes sense, like they've got like the body of like a sentient weapon made out of like the strongest metal on Earth, like not gonna let that go to waste. Like the military would be digging that up and trying to put that to work immediately. So
it seems like they're gonna try to like do what Ultron was originally intended for, like because that's why he was made in the first place. He was a fallback plan, so the Avengers didn't have to keep fighting or didn't have to die or get hurt and everything. He was supposed to be that
piece in our time.
It was supposed to be like a robot made to, take on all the stuff that they were doing. So probably with the snap, they figure that they can go back and kind of just fix, what didn't happen the first time, which we all know with Ultron, that shit is not gonna happen at all.
But shout out to your girl Monica Rambeau getting her powers.
Yeah, she did the typical, and she had to do the typical superhero landing.
Yeah. That's the hard confirm. She's a superhero.
As soon as I seen that, like I seen that when she had the eyes and she could kind of like see like the different auras of everything, and then when she did the landing, I'm like, okay, that certifies it right there.
When she was passing through it, I think you hear her mom and you see herself.
Yeah. I was trying to catch. I know they're gonna put like voices in there. Like I did hear Captain Marvel towards the end. You right now.
And I think she's not mad at her because something happened, because like Captain Marvel left when her mom for many years, and then her mom got sick and she never came back to it because she left before, but it wasn't her fault. when she came back in the first movie.
Like she explained it best in Endgame. There's a lot of planets out there that don't have Avengers. Like, you know,
but for a visit, you gotta visit your best friends or whatever.
Yeah, she probably could have stopped in and say, "Hey, how you doing? You good?" All right.
She's not fighting evil villains 24/7. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know. We gonna find out.
Monica doesn't know that. She's gonna have to find out the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It looks like she didn't really return until Fury was snapped.
Yeah.
That was it. That's when she showed up.
You came in to check on Fury, but you didn't come in to check on my mom.
Yeah.
So they got some beef.
Yeah, and all she could know is that when she wasn't there during the snap, Captain Marvel could have been there for her mom when she was gone. So
also, did
she
they
end up egg in her face?
Did they explain anything about the vehicle that they were trying to use to get inside of the Hex? Because that was
like built it up on the reveal, and they were.
I really was disappointed in that because I was like, "What is the plan here? Like, this is magic that you're going into, and like, you think that like a space like rover is gonna be able to pierce into there?"
All they said was like,
this person that you've been building up for so many episodes, like this is your plan, like.
It's like they established how powerful like she is.
Yeah.
This was the end game. This was the goal. This is what we were gonna use. Like this was all right. This is it right here.
It's gonna work. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's the strongest metal we have. I was like, oh, that's it.
I think that matters. The magic.
Yeah. Speaking of magic, Agatha finally revealed herself.
Yep.
And Agatha all along.
That was one of the big theories from since the first or second episode.
I mean, just with her name, it's Agnes, like it's Agatha Harkness, and that was like I think we all knew it was coming, but then when they played the theme song afterwards, and the theme song was like she was working in the shadows, nobody knew. I was like, we all knew, like it was very obvious. Didn't hide it at all.
The first episode, first appearance, when she lets herself in the house, you're gonna know she's important by that very scene alone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll get reveals for some of the other two reoccurring characters. The dude who's always the mailman in every scenario, So then, and the other dude,
Herb.
Yeah, Herb.
And then some of us caught it. But there was a after credits scene where we see Evan Peters Quicksilver again when Monica finds the basement of Agatha.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't knock her out or anything. He just said, "Snoop is gonna be Snoop." And I was like,
I thought she was going into hell at some point. I was like, okay, is this gonna be the Mephisto confirmed reveal? It was looking spooky as hell,
That this might lead into it. I don't think Mephisto might necessarily be the big bad of the show. I think Agatha is going to be the big bad, but it might bridge the connection to bring Mephisto into further Phase 4 stuff Doctor Strange and stuff.
That's what I was
saying. At this point, with 2 episodes left, I'm like, if they bring in Mephisto as the big villain, I feel like it's going to be so shoehorned in that they just kind of got to pave the path.
I would rather a small little post-credit teaser.
Thanos style reveal.
Yeah, that's it. Same thing they did.
Or maybe he's trapped in that book or something that she has, and this is just a wild guess, but maybe she frees him somehow based off Wanda's powers, and then at the end of it all, we just see him breaking free and doing whatever he does, and then that's how it ties into Doctor Strange.
That's why she needs the kids so badly, because they're part of Mephisto, but they're still also part of Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
They're hellspawns, so I don't know how they're gonna. I don't know what happened to them. We'll see what happened to those kids after.
But Agatha,
the multiverse in the Doctor Strange movie.
Hey man, hey. I like how they confirmed that she did kill the dog.
Yeah. She said
she casually said she been a child before. I'm like, okay, what child?
Yeah, she's a witch. Yeah, she's a witch. That's all witch traits right there.
They even are asking about her wart. That's a witch thing.
Yeah, true. I didn't even catch that.
And she was a witch. She was dressed as a witch in the Halloween episode.
My favorite line of the episode was her when they were just she's like, "Oh, come on, I'm not gonna bite," and then she's like, "I did bite a kid once."
And the way she
cracking up.
The way she looked at the camera too, it was so menacing. I'm like, it was different. It was nice.
Catherine Hahn, she's great in everything
Yeah.
that she's in, you know. So I always thought she was funny.
And all her clothes always said like naughty or something on it. Like it was just so
during the
weird.
Malcolm in the middle. Yeah, that's crazy. I think I'll give that one a 9 for me. You know, I liked it. Definitely got my emotions high with the fake reveal, but I feel like that guy's still out there. So hopefully, I'm hoping. But the Agatha song is stuck in my head. What about you guys?
I enjoyed this episode. I feel like they kind of just went straight into it with a lot of things. Like Rizzy wasn't especially with, you know, these being like the last few episodes, there wasn't much of like a dragging point with them emphasizing like, okay, here's the era that this plays in, here's the shows we're gonna make little nods to and reference to. Like it kind of just like goes straight into like more story driven, like, you know, stuff. So I thought it was a much faster pace than how the season kind of started off with like the first 2 or 3 episodes, where we'd only see like some of that stuff in the very beginning at the last 2 minutes, you know. So I would give this episode about an 8.
I'm leaning on like maybe like a 7 or an 8. I enjoyed it, but I think this episode was a lot of setup like for the next 2 episodes, which is fine. But I think like coming off the last 2 episodes, this one was a little bit of a step down for me, especially for expectations and stuff. But I'm excited to see where it goes into the next 2 episodes. Now that like all these things that we knew were going to happen, we knew Monica was going to get her powers, we knew Agnes was going to get revealed. So like now those things are on the table. So I think the next 2 episodes are really going to like, you know, spice things up so we can get a nice ending.
Yeah, I would have to give it an 8 as well. Mostly because like I said, I went through a rabbit hole where I'm just expecting so many different things, and none of those predictions happen. So it's like it doesn't take away from the quality of the episode. So I can't really bring it down because of that. But the episode itself was still good. I even enjoyed like the subtle humor with like Vision stuck in traffic. It's like, wait a minute, he can fly and literally.
I was saying the same thing. I was like, why they even get in the truck in the first place? Like,
and then when he finally just does it, I'm like, yeah, okay, I can appreciate this kind of comedy. So, yeah, I give it an 8, mostly just because of the comedy of the episode.
But we'll see you guys next week. This is Subscribe Reviews. I'm Dragoff. This is Murdoch, Leeroy Green, and Jay Holland, and we'll see you next time.